Hyperhidrosis made me feel the most anxious on the most important day of my life, which was my wedding day. I was nervous about ruining my satin dress. I chose not to wear fancy high heels because I didn't want to be slipping and sliding and potentially breaking an ankle on my big day. So I wore cotton ballet flats with no-show white cotton socks underneath my dress. And then I was also worried about my wedding bouquet. How am I supposed to hold a bunch of beautiful flowers and not get them to wilt just from the sheer moisture and heat from my hands? So I actually had my mother-in-law sew a hand towel around the handle of my bouquet so that I could hold it and not worry. So the biggest day of my life, my excessive sweating disorder got in the way. I tried not to let it, but it did in some aspects. I also asked the church if they had a fan on hand, and so the church was kind enough to plug in a fan and angle it at the bottom of the aisle. And so it was pointed up at me so that I could feel air moving across my body while I was reciting my vows. So I think that's probably the biggest example I can give of how hyperhidrosis affects quality of life. It's huge, and so many people don't understand. They think, oh, it's just a little bit of sweat, it's not a big deal, but it really is. Excessive sweating can cause me technical difficulties. I have a smartphone, so I'm constantly responding to email or sending text messages or flipping through my social media channels. And there are times when my hands are sweating so badly that the keypad doesn't register what I'm trying to type, or it'll type a letter or two next to the actual letter that I'm trying to type. So I'll have to stop, lock my phone, wipe it off with a towel so that I don't randomly send off any texts or post anything strange. Then I'll unlock my phone and have to start over. So sometimes I will use a stylus on my iPhone, but because my phone is so small, it feels silly to use a stylus pen on such a tiny device. It would make more sense if I had a tablet to do that with. I'm prone to soaking my computer keyboard at work, so I keep a desk fan right nearby so that I can feel the air moving across the keyboard. And I've also got a hand towel hidden in my desk drawer for really bad days. To cope with hyperhidrosis, I turn to a lot of different organizations. The International Hyperhidrosis Society, they're a nonprofit dedicated to helping people with hyperhidrosis, and they also educate healthcare providers. They're a great resource of unbiased information. I also do a lot of work through my own personal blog, MyLifeAsAPuddle. And I'm also a member of the WeGo Health Patient Leader Network and the Clara Health Breakthrough Crew, which is all about clinical trials and raising awareness for clinical trials, because that's something that people with hyperhidrosis need, is better treatments. And the only way we can get to better treatments is through more clinical trials.